Leagueheads, and welcome to The League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the Relentless Storm Volibear, who was released November 29th, 2011, and was reworked May 28th, 2020.
Yeah.
It was a big one for
recent.
him.
It was a big one.
It
was cool.
Not only because he
hell.
got super big. Yeah.
That's true.
That's
we were
true.
playing League at the time, specifically ARAMs, which is where they really announced his big rework thing in a moment that scared us all.
It really did
In the
scare
middle
the
of an
shit out of
ARAM.
us. It
We
was
were
one
like,
of those
what the
surreal moments.
fuck
We're like,
is
this
that?
supposed to happen?
You ever think your game is haunted
A little
for
bit.
half a second? And I don't even believe in ghosts, but I'll have this moment where I'm like, oh god, this is it.
You're in your own personal little creepypasta.
Yeah.
Playing League at midnight. Friday the 13th.
There was a Majora's Mask one from a while back. I don't know if y'all ever
Yeah,
saw
I
that
read
one.
that one.
It was it had video. I think it was videos. I don't remember.
It was one of those pages that had a bunch of text and then videos.
Yes, about this Majora's Mask copy you got from the library or something that was different.
It's very cool.
Anyway.
Not like the other Majora
Yeah.
Mask.
Not like the other Majora's Mask. I played the basic bitch version. Yeah, Volibear. I'm ill prepared for this. I think the worst prepared I've been for a champion in a while. I was just looking at my stuff now and realizing I didn't take notes for the bio because I read the bio on stream yesterday.
Oh, that's true.
And then didn't sit down and actually take notes for it. And then I did read the short story he's in while trying to wrangle the toddler today, who was not happy with me most of the day.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry
I
to
got
hear
it. No, it's okay. I don't know. I don't know what was on at that point. I don't know what I gave up and put on the television. An hour-long montage of Cookie Monster songs, because that happened.
that. Pretty slick. Is that all you know? It's just going to be the lyrics to Cookie Monster songs?
They have him do some really great parodies. One of them was Call Me Maybe, and it was share your cookies maybe. I remember the line with, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but you have cookies, so share them maybe. And then there
Sounds
was
a little insistent.
and it came with a music video about being in an office with office workers. It was great. I don't know why Cookie Monster always gets the best parody songs, but he does.
He's the best.
There's also that song that I don't care, I love it. Yeah, he had a song for that too. It was about cookies, but
Yeah, it's about cookies.
I
right?
can't remember any lines to
I
it.
put the cookie in my mouth and
Yeah,
it
I
got
don't
in my
know.
hair. 'Cause I don't eat, I just crumble cookies that goes everywhere.
He also has the Twilight
that's
parody, which is really great. I wish I could remember more of that. He's in a Twilight trailer, and they all have cookie
That sounds
pun
pretty
names.
smart.
It's really fucking funny. Anyway, Volibear.
Volibear.
Yeah.
Does it sound like?
He has a bio and 3 short stories linked. Yes, well, that is one thing I did do is I looked up quotes for
There
him.
we go.
And I almost did do that Braum quote that you have for that first one there because it's great. But I'm gonna do this line, and if you don't know it, if you're unfamiliar with it, I want you to guess who he says it to.
Ooh.
What is that? A cub?
I do know this one, so I won't guess.
Okay.
Oh, I don't. Okay. I'm thinking. Okay, I'll give you my thought process. So the two that are in my head is Nar, or maybe Annie because she got a bear. I'm going with Annie.
No, it's not Annie.
Fuck.
It's Yumi.
Oh, okay. I get it.
I like Annie a little bit better, but yeah, Yumi is just like a cat. Do they not have cats in the Freljord? Some version of a cat?
Maybe not. It's called.
I guess
Maybe.
not.
They
Yeah, I
have
don't
big.
know.
They have big, monstrous cats, what do they call them? Wild Claw or whatever.
You can't have normal
No.
cats. It's
No, they
ridiculous.
got,
It's a
6
fantasy
arms.
world. Yeah.
Okay, Volibear. He yells a lot. I'm not gonna do that. Because the baby is actively being put to bed. But he sounds like if this is him if he was reining it in and being quiet. He'd be like, tremble before Valhyr.
Oh, I knew you were going to be
got
really
the
good
great
at this
grumble,
one. You
too.
do. You're so good at this. I'm like if Volibear got kicked in the balls. That was my impression. He was just so excited about seeing a cat.
Yeah,
I
I've
can
never
see
seen
that.
one before.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Men speaking small words. I speak in thunder.
There's another quote that I meant to do. I forgot about it till just now. It's from Runeterra. They does to Neela, where she's something like, you can't have ice without water. I don't remember what she says. It says, what is ice but water that is, or no, what is oh no, I fucked it up. What did he say?
It's okay.
What is water but ice that is weak? And I thought that was very funny.
That is ridiculous. What a thought process to have,
right?
It's just colder where you live. He really thinks it makes him better than everybody. Can we just say before we really get into Volibear, he thinks he is so superior because it's really fucking cold where they live. That's it. That's like Volibear's bio. I don't need notes for his bio. His bio is he's better than everyone because he's big and strong and lives in where it's cold.
He's the guy who goes around without a jacket and it's like 38.
Exactly.
It's just my arms don't get cold.
Except he also grows really long, thick fur on his body. And he's like, look at these pussies with their coats on.
Nothing like my natural coat.
Yeah. Shut up, Volibear.
So those are the bio notes.
Yeah, no, obviously not. I did like the quote he has to Braum. He says, Braum, you have the lip fur of a lowly cub. Half of it is milk. And that's really good. All right, bio. Sorry, this will be a team effort, I assume?
Sure.
Much like the bio itself. I saw it had 2 credits.
It did have 2 credits. All right, Volibear was a normal god in the Freljord. I guess that's where we could start.
Demigod.
He's a demigod?
What's the...
Oh.
Well,
it says that his kin are demigods.
Oh,
I think they're all like brothers and sisters, right? So they're all like...
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I thought like he was making babies like Zeus or something.
I don't know. What's the difference? What do we know, right? What's a god in Runeterra?
What is a
Name
god?
one
That's
for me.
Fair. LeBlanc, because she's everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Volibear, he's a demigod in the Freljord. Some of his other names are Thunder's Roar, the Great Storm, or Valhyr. They call him Valhyr later. That confused John.
Yes, don't worry.
But Volibear, he flies the flag for unstoppable power and fury. I guess he's the god of war in this world.
He's the god of Big Mad.
He's the god of Big Mad. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah. He created rivers by running lots of blood. Right? Was that it?
He fought a big serpent.
He fought a big serpent. As opposed to the Reddit post that said he pissed it.
Yeah.
Which was much fun. More fun. Created all the mountains, whatever, by fighting things. Why is this how gods create things in fantasy worlds? It's like they beat up Earth and then they make the Earth look the way it does. It's weird.
They need to claim dominion over the Earth to show that they're strong.
All right. Well, early tribes, lots of magic around. Volibear, worshipped by everybody. They really need his big, strong muscles. What else we got here? Oh yeah, he used to wear Ornn's armor. His brother Ornn forged him armor, and he wore that. They fought side by side a lot. Ornn, though, not as angry. He didn't have like the big mad that Volibear had.
Yeah.
I did almost say a quote that he says to Ornn where he says he's gotten soft and he's eaten like too many donuts or something. He doesn't say donuts, but I don't remember what it was.
It's like cake or something.
Yeah, I think it was just cake. You got soft, too much cake, brother. And I'm like, man, shut up. He's nice. Fuck off.
The only thing Ornn really likes are his spicy cherries. Those are Ornn's thing.
Oh, I think he like Red Hots, if that's what he likes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That dye would kill everyone in Runeterra. Those fuckers could never survive with the poison we eat daily. We built up a tolerance.
Here, have some Takis, man.
We've earned the right to survive here. Throw a fucking...
Volibear would love us.
Throw a fucking Red Hot at Volibear. You'd die. Eat a Dorito. Try it. All that flavor? Absolutely not. You could do it.
Flavor explosion.
This is what happens when I don't have notes on the bio, I guess. All right, anyway. Volibear and all his brothers. He just says his kid. It takes him so long to say Anivia. They, each, they go their separate ways. They've all got their own things going on. And then the three sisters came about. Oh, we're these sisters.
Yeah,
I've never heard this story before. Yeah, they want to, they want their own Freljord. And, Orn and Volibear and Anivia really didn't have, like, an agreement on how they should handle this. But Volibear just wanted to kill them, obviously. That was his thing. Yeah. Let me try to figure out what happened after that.
So he wanted to kill them.
He wanted to kill them. Oh, he went to...
wanted to help. Orn wanted to ignore them completely.
I love that for Orn, honestly. He was like, can I just go eat, like, red cherries or whatever, and then just, like, make a sword? I've got the sword I've been working on. I've got soup pots to make with this child. Anyway, Volibear went to they said the most animalistic and savage followers. That's the earth sign, obviously. He brought them along to kill the three sisters. Orn didn't want to give him armor, though. He said he didn't believe in the earth sign. They were creepy. He's like, I don't like how they wave kids' heads around on sticks. It's fucking weird. So no, you can't have my armor. So Volibear's like, fine, and he took his armor off. He's like, never again.
He just hangs
I'm a
dong
naked
on the
babe.
battlefield. That's what blinded Lysandra. So, whoa!
Hey, stop Winnie the Poohing up in here. Oh, fuck. Anyway. Yeah, I did like this line. I made fun of it. He said he would fight from then on with just tooth and claw and magic and thunder. Like, that's kind of a lot. That's a lot of shit you have. It's like, oh, sorry, you don't have, like, a little bit of armor on your thick, gigantic body, bigger than everyone you're fighting.
I've got to rely on these stupid
claws and my thunder powers and my
the power of nature at my hand.
Are you kidding me?
He just smacks the top off a mountain. Like,
Damn it! I wanted my helmet. Oh, fuck. All right.
Also,
anyway.
I like how he said, like, far from being lessened, the Volibear found his full power was now unleashed.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's like the armor was weighing him down. It's like, what's his name in Naruto?
fucking. I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
Yeah, you mean
Rock Lee with
you
the
mean
Rock
Naruto
Lee
first.
takes off.
Yeah.
It made me wonder if Orn like specifically enchanted the armor to
It'll like
temper
tap
it down a
him
bit.
down. I love that, actually.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
He
'cause
imbued,
He's like, fucking Volibear, you're at a 10. I need you to put this armor on and go down to an 8,
man.
please.
he imbued it with a little bit of magical Xanax or whatever. Just a little bit. Just take the edge off a little.
You need this, brother. As he's smoking a joint. Ornwood. Anyway, he's super duper mad now, Volibear. He goes to confront, it just says one of the sisters, I assume Lysandra, because he does blind her. But wasn't able to stop what she'd already done. That's all it says about that. We kind of know all the void shit, I guess. Lots of time goes by. Volibear. Okay, what is it here? Oh, that's right. The tribe started worshipping the three sisters instead of Volibear and the other gods. So Volibear was like, fuck you guys. First my brother was drugging me. Now my people are just worshipping these goddamn sisters.
I'm gonna take my
I'm not
dong and
crying.
go
You're
home.
crying.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my dog.
Throws it over his shoulder.
No more red rockets for you. Ew. I'm so sorry. Anyway, he just went to nap for like a few hundred years or something like that. I don't know. He came back and saw that people were farming cattle instead of hunting, and they were growing food instead of not growing food. He hates vegetarians, I think it is. He really hates people eating vegetables.
Jesus Christ, people can diversify their diet, Volibear. It's fine.
Exact line I have here. This was not his Freljord.
Right. He needs to take the Freljord back.
Right? Volibear, the Thunder's boomer.
Yeah.
Make the Freljord great again. would wear that out for sure. Oh shit! The change had happened slowly, glacially.
Usually.
Anyway, he decided that the tribes. Fuck! I'm so sorry. Had been cut off from all the magic of the Freljord. Why? Because they grow their food now? I don't get this. I'm so sorry. This is so stupid. Anyway. So he doesn't like this. He's just all mad now. He's vowing to tear down all of the civilizations to bring the Freljord back to its old ways of barely surviving and starving to death.
Barely.
See, now the
Bear?
thing is,
Oh, shit. I didn't even do that on purpose. But again, you're a bear god, Volibear. It's very easy for you to live in the Freljord.
See, the thing is, if people are growing food, if enough people do that, then they don't need to fight each other anymore. And then it's not like Volibear's going to pull up to a farm and help him fight. He doesn't know how to do that shit. All he knows is slash, slash, slash. So he needs as many people as possible fighting so that he can get more worshippers.
Well, first of all, one, go to Noxus then. Or
But it's warm there.
that's true. It's warm.
They're
They have
weak
water.
or whatever it is.
They've got weak ice there, otherwise known as water.
Water.
He doesn't call it water. He just calls it weak ice. He was so mad in that one story about the river. Like, you like water.
Right.
Anyway, I think we did talk about this in some other thing, and I had forgotten about that. That this is Volibear's thing, is that he just wants everybody fighting each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Volibear.
That is
How does
Volibear.
everybody feel about it?
You know, I kind of, I was really satisfied. I've hit the mic so much. I'm sorry when you edit this episode. I've hit it like 5 times right now.
Okay, I can't hear it here, but I'll curse you off when I'm editing.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, I felt like after going through all this, we looked a lot at the Freljord stuff, but I felt like this rounded out a lot of it. Like, I felt like I had a really comprehensive understanding of like the way the old gods and the three sisters have like the conflict, because I think here they kind of really firmly established that like these old gods do need worshippers. It's kind of like how Janna sort of was, where it's like if they're not being worshipped and venerated, they seem to like lose power, and we kind of saw that in that the Udyr story a little bit. So it makes a lot. To me, it helps kind of make it all make a lot of sense. That the reason Lysandra wants to hide all the information about the old gods, the reason Volibear is so adamant about like what his motivation is, and it makes a lot of sense. Like John said, that he wants everyone fighting because if everyone's fighting, you need him around. If no one's fighting, you don't need no Volibear no more. You know. So
What is he gonna do? Crochet instead? He couldn't.
So.
Yeah, I'm ripping on it, but it does make sense for a fantasy god. Like his motivations are, clear.
Especially if the gods, especially if like the demigods work very similar to like kind of the Ionian ones, where when everyone has forgotten about you, then the god of permadeath essentially, because it's like
God of permadeath.
it's because he does mention that
What is that?
it's that Ionian god who comes to get you after everyone's forgotten about you.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
what's
that
it
one.
called?
That
The
sounds
vulture
scary.
looking one.
Yeah, the Volt. Yeah,
Was that the
The
play?
end or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Kindred.
but I mean, because he mentioned that he's a demigod, so he can't die. But I'd be willing to bet that is the one way that he could legitimately die, is if everyone forgot about him.
Sure. Yeah. I think the only thing about that is it does kind of cast in like a. Can we really trust him when it says that Volibear realized that they were disconnected from the spirit of the land? It's like, is that true, or is that just like a cope? Right? Like, is he just like trying to make excuses for himself? I don't know.
Well, if he considers himself the spirit of the land,
Perhaps.
That's
yeah.
true.
He seems pretty genuine. He doesn't seem to have a lot of like subterfuge, or like there's not a lot of depth to Volibear. He kind of wears his heart on his sleeve a little bit, so I think he probably just genuinely believes that's what has happened.
quite literally in some of his forms. You don't have a lot of skin covering that body sometimes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's like, oh, they put that back in.
Yeah.
I like the glacially line. It really made me chuckle. I was going to
Yeah.
mention it if you didn't.
That was pretty funny.
I like a nice pun stuck in there.
Right?
Yeah. Pretty straightforward.
Sorry about how I summarized it.
No,
it
it's
wasn't
perfect.
great.
No, that's good.
Spot on.
Thanks, Sean.
Perfect every time. We hop into the stories if you want, or did you have stuff for the bio?
No, we can hop into the stories. I guess. Yes, Stormbringer is a good place because it's also by Anthony Reynolds and Andre LaHide, much like the bio.
Oh, I didn't see those both. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a little day in the life of Volibear, I suppose. He's napping. This guy sleeps so much. I guess that's his shtick. He's a bear. Maybe he hibernates all the time. I don't know.
In between murders.
Just a little bit.
He gets a little sleepy.
Oh, that murder took so much out of me. It's funny because he hears someone kind of calling his name, his OG name, his like Ball here. That's his old gamer tag before he changed it to Volibear or whatever. But it's funny because he hears it and he's like, it's probably just like an echo of a memory or something. I'm going back to sleep. But then he hears it again much more like strongly, and he kind of realizes, someone's doing the thing. They're calling me. They're singing my song. All right. And he kind of rouses himself and he starts kind of rip roaring across the Freljord towards wherever it is that's calling him. And he gets there and there's this big battle that's happening between some Freljordians and some Noxians. And he sees that there is a little human woman, a little war mother, who has called him to come help smash these motherfuckers, and she dives into battle, and he's like, he kind of sees the Noxus people as like, they're weak, whatever, fuck them, and he kind of just, he fucks them up, he sends them, running to the hills, and he's like, this is great, this is fun, and he kind of looks around, and says, hey, wait a minute. Wait a fucking tick. Because the War Mother is like, Volibear, thank you, Ball here, you saved us, you saved our village, and he's like,
you're what now?
Are those carrots?
Shoots out of his ear.
Carrots.
And he sees that they have a village and they're settled, and if that didn't piss him off enough, what he sees that really sets him off is that they have dammed up the river, and that's like his biggest pet peeve. He really doesn't like his rivers to be dammed up. They even mention that in, like, the bio even.
They do.
That's my river. I built it with blood.
Whatever.
You put weak ice in it? It's supposed to have...
Is that what the carrots drink? Weak ice?
That's what they crave.
Right? I was trying to find it. So he walks over and he smashes it. And when he does, it the rivers come flooding down the floodplain, and they smash the village. And I guess most of the Freljordians get out of the way, and most of them are kind of like, "What the fuck, dude?"
It's really funny how confused they are.
Yeah, and he's like, now you're free. Go live, hunt, kill. Just be free. And he and the War Mother, I guess, is kind of like, yeah. He's right. We got to do this. And it sounds like some of them are on board. And then
one guy in the background like, I'm a baker.
Right.
And Volibear just stomps off into the sunset to go, I guess, back to sleep and to do this again later.
Next time he sees some village.
To go knock down some more dams, just like a bully knocking down sandcastles at the beach.
Literally. I did have one question. This seems like a lot of work to put your village here. The Freljord seems like a very open, not super inhabited place. Why did they do this?
Take the one village and move it somewhere else.
Like, why did they dam the river to put a village here?
Maybe they needed to use it for irrigation.
Oh, okay. I don't know how dams work.
I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of reasons that maybe I don't know.
They had to build out their aqueducts.
I did like how when he saw the Noxians, he's like, they're from a land that doesn't even have snow. It's like I thought, they're weak as hell. They don't know what snow is. Idiots.
I do like to when he joined the battlefield, it said the first of them turned to run. It quickly turned into a rout. And I bet all those Noxians really wish that their backs were armored as they ran away from that one, huh?
If only, huh?
Noxian never turns their back.
Maybe Volibear liked that though. He's like, oh, thank God, they're not wearing armor either. Maybe they're stronger.
So it's not just
me.
Right?
Yeah. They're bare-assing it like I am. Bare-assing.
Love the idea that yeah.
What other kind of ass is he gonna have? Am I right? So we mentioned it in the stream, but I mentioned that, or I saw that he was referred to as Vol here, and I wrote in my notes like, "Oh, sweet, a name drop." And then when we read the bio on Rebecca's stream, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's literally line
right
one
at
of
the
the bio.
beginning.
I
Yeah.
just fucking missed it. I was so excited that we got this name drop."
Yeah.
Also, when he heard the voice, it didn't say the voice called out to him. It said the voice called out to the body he wore.
Yeah, I thought that was
Which
an
made me
interesting.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I never fully
like it.
grasped the Volibear is, I don't know, a concept. I don't really get it.
Yeah. It
He
is a
just
little.
jumped between different bears.
He's like the physical manifestation of the spirit of the bear.
Yeah, maybe it's like a quantum leap situation. He's got to fix whatever's going on wrong in Volibear's life.
You've got to go back. They're growing plants.
You don't understand. I saw celery. Can dig it.
Another thing I really liked here. So after he woke up and started charging across the Freljord, he like roared. And it said after he roared, hundreds of miles away, where the sun never rose, a spirit walker woke screaming, clawing at his face with hands twisted into immense talons. And then elsewhere around a fire in like this little village said, friends suddenly eyed friends with hostile expressions. Blood would be spilled. Just from like
Roaring.
hearing him roar.
Yeah.
Just metal as hell.
That first
Honestly, a
one
lot-
confused me. He's like, he had no one to fight, so he started kicking his own ass. Was that it?
I assumed it was just like, the Spirit Walkers are like tuned in, and someone was like too close and got a big burst of like Volibear static. And
Gotcha.
kinda,
You're right.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to Udyr too in the
Yeah.
as soon as like
Yeah, for sure.
he started getting close to the Earth sign, his whole face started fucking turning into like a boar and then an eagle and then like
Yeah, I mean, Metal as Hell is honestly, that's a good descriptor for a lot of the Volibear stuff. Like in that other one
Yeah.
where he fights Ornn that we'll talk about, I think it lives up pretty well to like, hey, we made this big demigod, war god, and it kind of feels, I don't know, they did a good job with it. I felt like in a lot of the stories. I can't find the words for it.
He sure is a thunder bear god.
He sure
Yeah.
is a big scary thunder god. He's
Yeah.
got
Some
lots of
sweet
big
tats.
shit.
Yeah. I love his braids.
Yeah, those are nice.
let's see.
And his current body. I don't know.
yeah. The body he wears.
He's in this one a lot. In the League of Legends, anyway.
Well, he's got a lot of skins in the League of Legends, to be fair.
It's true. That is true.
Anywho.
Yeah. Oh, something from the bio I forgot to mention, or I thought was kind of interesting, is that they mentioned the Iron Boar, who we've talked about a few times. It doesn't not gotten a lot of, but that the Iron Boar also wanted to kill everybody, or all the three sisters anyway. So I don't know. I don't know a lot about that guy or gal
Right.
or whatever.
Whoever. Yeah.
But so it's interesting that detail got mentioned, that they're kind of on Volibear's side in that way.
Yeah, he seems to like have a pretty good relationship with the rest of his siblings. I feel like even though he probably doesn't agree with their how they do things, because I know when they had the disagreement about the three sisters, Anivia was like, yeah, let's work with them, but like, he's still, I feel like he's still I forget who he was talking to at one point, but mentioned like, oh, I think he was talking to Ornn, actually. It might be one of his quotes, but like, my sisters are the power of the storm and salt and snow, and Ornn, liar. It's like, he likes his sisters.
Can't
And I
those
only
two
know-
just make up?
Brothers fighting.
Right?
Yeah. All right, want to dive into the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, what is it, Lost Tales of Ornn?
Sure. Yeah.
Matt
We
Dunn.
did it for Ornn. The one that's relevant is called The Tragedy of the Hearthblood. So, like, big context is there's a storyteller who's telling all these different stories about Ornn, right? And after he's gone through and told all the stories, there's this one little kid who they had found in a ruined village with no legs, who they kind of took along with them and have been caring for. And that kid seems to be a little more like, it sounds like the things you're saying are kind of bullshit because they all sound kind of happy. So I don't know about any of that. And the storyteller is like, well, I got one more. It's not happy, which probably makes it the most true. But it is kind of talking about how Orin at one point had followers. He had this group of smiths who kind of lived around where his forge was in a place called Hearthhome. And he kind of liked them. Orin he's kind of grumpy and ornery, but secretly he kind of liked them because they were hardworking and quiet, right? And one day, now there's a big discrepancy here, right? Because the storyteller says that one day Volibear showed up, and that Volibear and Orin never talked. They were not friendly. They didn't hang out, and they never visited each other, right? Not even like for Easter or Christmas, none of it, right? So I don't know like how true this is supposed to be in terms of like that part. But Volibear shows up and he wants some armor, and Orin says, "Fuck off! I'm not going to make you any." And Volibear is like, "Well, if you're not going to make me any, I'm just going to take it." And he and Orin start fighting. And this is exactly what Volibear wants. That's kind of his whole shtick. And kind of in the midst of this giant, god battle, Hearthhome is kind of destroyed, and all of the Hearth blood are kind of killed. They're just all kind of dead.
They spill all their Hearth blood.
Oh,
indeed. And in fact, it's such a significant like fight that I think Orin after that is kind of like, people think Volibear may have killed him. He's just gone. They don't know kind of where he went or anything. And the kid is sort of like, well, that sucks. That means that story is probably true. I don't know if Orin's gone. But the storyteller at the end kind of has a little bit of like, well, I don't know either. But something about the Hearthblood is that they don't feel like cold. I don't know. They like don't feel cold. They're kind of warmed by like Orin's sort of fire, sort of wherever they are in some sort of way. And the storyteller kind of in his own inner monologue reveals that he himself might be the Hearthblood. It's kind of one of the longest line of descendants from those Hearthbloods. So they're still out there, kind of strewn about.
Why would you worship anybody else if being a Hearthblood means you're warm everywhere in the Freljord? That sounds great.
What if you want to be a bear everywhere in the Freljord?
That's fair.
What if you want to have a baby head in your mouth that can spit out black ichor? There's only one god to follow that gets you that shit.
That's true. What does Anivia get people? Dead, I think.
Gives them the power of true ice.
That's true.
Fair. She did. That's pretty cool.
But she hasn't done that in a while.
It's been a
Everyone
while.
who
It's
had
only-
that died.
Yeah, right. So you know what? Maybe that's not the best power.
It's so good.
Well, Sandra's just going to kidnap you and use it.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, like I said, that in this version of the story, Volibear and Orin were never ever friendly, whereas in the bio it's like they were real tight for a while. Right. And is this supposed to be like unreliable narrator type because it's like a story that's been passed down through
maybe I could see that.
Now, I have a theory.
Okay.
Okay, I'm curious.
So, yes to that, but you know what I'm going to go further and say? Orin's bio, also unreliable narrative. I think one day Orin got like a sniffle or something and like sneezed and like sent lava all over the Hearthblood, and that's what killed him. And then he made up all this shit like, no, Volibear came and attacked. It wasn't me, guy.
It's like, oh fuck, you're still good. And he's like trying to put them back together, and they're melting.
But all the orange horses and all the orange men couldn't put the Hearthblood. I thought you actually had a legit theory there, but no, you were just telling a joke.
Sticking
just
by
memeing.
Just
memeing. That's John. John, you need a shirt that says just memeing. Because that is you all the time.
The memeing demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have too much else for this.
Yeah.
It's a neat. I like. I don't know. I'm so spaced today. You have to excuse me.
I know.
We're all like out of it today.
Today's a rough day, everyone.
I think we all had a rough day.
I don't know why. I did like Volibear stuff. Like I said, at the end of it all, I was like, he's got more than I kind of thought he would, even having read a lot of this before. And I was like, this is pretty much all I kind of want from a big, war god monster from the Freljord. It's like, I'm happy with it. I don't mean to be so... I can't... Oh my god, I'm so fucking... Oh my god.
It's okay.
Next up, we got Voice from the Heart.
A short story. We've been over it a lot of times,
Yeah, I think some of that's part of it. What was the one you just said? I know which one you're talking about.
Voice from
the Hearth by Matt Dunn.
By Matt
sure.
Dunn.
This is the one that we're pretty sure also contains the legless boy rescued from the last story.
Yeah,
I don't think it's given a name in that one, but
Creek.
Yeah.
Creek.
Creek.
Get on down here, Creek.
Come on down to the creek.
So it's all from the perspective of it's like it's some tribe in the Freljord. I don't know which. I assume like Avarosan, maybe. All I know is that they're victims of the Winter's Claw. They're on the run. They're being hounded by the Winter's Claw, and they're desperate to try and find some salvation. But they're going through like inhospitable tundra. They've eaten all their Elnuk. They finally find this like. It's essentially it's Hearthhome, everybody. It's Hearthhome. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's the ruins of Hearthhome they find, and they get there, and not only is the Winter's Claw after them, but then the Ursine, they can start hearing the Ursine like starting to kind of rev up their engines or whatever, and they're getting ready like, okay, I guess we're gonna stay here and just die. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but there is this forge here, and the forge sort of sparks to life, and then from it out pops, Ornn. It's Ornn, everybody, and I'm not doing the story justice because like the description of Ornn is great.
It's very cool.
Like it's the heat of him is like so immense that like stones start to melt, and they can't help but like kneel before him in like veneration. But they kind of tell him like, hey, here's what's going on, man. We have enemies after us, and the Ursine are coming. And he's like,
Game over, man.
Game over, man.
nuke him from orbit.
Sick Bill Paxton reference.
What's your favorite Paxton quote?
Trying to think of one for Twister off the top of my head, and I can't think of one.
So Ornn is like, well, your problems are your own, but I will stop the Ursine. The other things you're gonna have to deal with yourselves.
But I hate those fucking Ursines so much.
Yeah. I fucking hate them so much. The fucking Ursine. The Ursines sort of show up like on the rim of like a caldera or whatever. I think they're kind of in like a basin. And the Ursine are kind of up there, and as they're sort of like starting to charge, Ornn starts fighting all these Ursine, and it's fucking great, man. He's doing all of his in-game abilities, but they're all writ massively large. It's fucking awesome. He's like, and then Volibear shows up, and Ornn and Volibear start fighting, and like there's lightning coming down, and Ornn's got like magma like flows popping up, and at one point he does his ultimate and he smashes the ram into Volibear, and the thing just like knocks everybody clear. It knocks. So Creek, who we had mentioned at the start, is this legless seer who is like been with this tribe for forever and has led them to Hearthhome. And so that's why we're pretty sure this is that same kid from that previous story. But this big, collision happens, and Creek gets thrown like 100 yards, like laughing the whole time, or like he's like singing like Ornn's praises as he's getting flung into the distance. But everyone kind of comes to afterwards, and there's no Ursine because they've all been like melted into the stone itself, and these big pillars of like rocky basalt or whatever. It's fucking awesome. Their clothes have all been burned off. Everyone's all naked, and their war mother had this true ice like axe that she had put before Ornn, and the true ice just like melted, and it's just this. There's this great line about how like all her stuff is burnt off. The heat has branded her back, and she's just got her axe with no true ice. It's just bronze, and she's never looked more powerful. And they're all like smearing like the ash on themselves and making the ram horns, and they're gonna beat the fuck out of the Winter's Claw when those dudes show up. Man, everyone's like massively hyped. It makes me feel so like empowered at the end of that story. But that's it. I don't know if they were successful.
We can kind of presume that they weren't, since Sejuani's tribe now has Krieg.
Yeah, it's true.
But something that's kind of interesting about the end of this story is the description they give of this tribe makes it sound like way more like they're being influenced right now by Volibear than Orn.
It's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about it.
They're like
From that
blood's
perspective.
boiling. They're like, let's fucking fight, bitch.
It could have been both of them. I mean, like, both the gods are, having a fight using all their power there. But yeah, I like that. That makes sense that, the Volibear magic's still kind of glowing around.
Like a magical, almost like after effect radiation thing. It's like if you're just in an area where a big god fight happened, it just makes you all fucking pissed off. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like that detail, honestly. That would really carry through from some of the other Volibear stuff. But yeah, I really love the descriptions of the Volibear Orn fight. Really that whole end sequence once Orn kind of gets into action. It really hits those high notes of, like I said, of big, fantasy gods having these giant, fights from the perspective of this mere mortal. I thought it really was successful. You know what I mean? Doing that.
And I think, I feel like when we watch movies sometimes we kind of talk a lot about how it's super boring watching just two basically invincible people fight.
People slam into each other. Yeah.
But it's not boring viewing that fight from the perspective of someone who's just got to be dodging all of the fucking shit they're destroying the entire time. Because who gives a shit what happens to the two immortal people?
Exactly. And it puts something at risk there, because I know that neither of them are gonna die. It doesn't matter. And in a lot of these superhero movies, the same thing. I know you're not gonna kill off these immortal people, or you're gonna kill them all off and bring them back in a couple years. But when you care about just the fragile, delicate little people that are standing there, something's at stake.
For sure. And there's they mention at one point when they're getting ready to make their last stand before Orn has shown up, they're kind of getting their weapons ready, and they're talking about how they're going to administer the rite of the lamb to their wounded and their elderly, and the rest of them are going to dance with the wolf. And it's it's the whole tribe, the tribe is vulnerable, right? Not just because they've been chased out of their home, but they have wounded, they have elderly, I assume probably young with them. It's just it's a little dark, but just dark enough,
Yeah. We didn't see them kill all their wounded and
no, and they may not have
and
done it.
children.
I don't think they did it at all. They gave everybody a sword at the end, even little Timmy.
It was mostly melted from the Orn fire. He did his best.
Yeah, very cool. I really like this one. And yeah, I don't know. We'd probably hop into the silence of the Voices of the Damned? Silence for the
Silence for the Queen of the Damned.
For the Damned.
Yeah, no worries. We did this one pretty recently with Udir. We've actually done it a number of times. I didn't reread it for this one because we've read it a fair amount. The high level is that it's an Udir story. He's racing to go talk to Sejuani because Sejuani is leading the Winter's Claw, and she's about to go attack this I guess city. I think we've raised it before, but I don't know what a city, quote unquote, kind of is in the Freljord.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, they're going to attack one. And because they're in a very desperate situation at the moment, they can't afford to kind of wait, and they need the Earth Sign to come help take the city. And Udir is doing everything he can to convince Sejuani not to do it, but he can't convince her. And they call the Volibear. They do this messed up ritual, and they to call him down, and the Winter's Claw's waiting there, and then the Earth Sign starts showing up, and it's these half bear, half men monstrosities, and then sometimes it's just big monster bears, and sometimes it's shit that I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's like we're talking about baby heads in mouths that spew black ichor.
Yeah, we weren't exaggerating.
I mean, that's literally one of the things that shows up. And there's also, gosh, I didn't write his name down. What's the name of the guy? The voice of the there's a guy who's kind of like the spokesperson for Volibear. It's like their PR head.
The right hand of the
Hounded
Volibear.
Lord.
The Hounded. I was going to say it had hound in it for sure.
Which is weird. You think it'd be like the bear. No, that sounds
the
bearded.
bear ass lord.
And then they all turn in moon, much like Braveheart. Yeah, so there's this guy. He's weird. He's like, kind of, like I said, he kind of speaks. He's like, all the Ursign are silent, and he's like the only one that speaks. And Udyr has a connection to this guy because he was Udyr's former student. I think maybe his only student. I don't know.
First student, yeah.
Yeah. Fucked up immensely. And when they're speaking, it also kind of is said through Udyr's voice because he can't help but be influenced by, like we said, this kind of overbearing presence that Volibear sort of has, this influence. And what is kind of happening is that the Volibear is trying to get the Winter's Claw and Sejuani sort of under his thrall. He wants her to kind of commit herself and her tribe to serve him. And if she does that, she will eventually, and all of them will eventually become just like these Ursign. But Udyr's kind of able to snap himself out a little bit and kind of, in turn, snap Sejuani out of it. And she sort of like challenges Volibear to like, hey, what, you too much of a big pussy to come fight with us? What, you need to do this shit? Come on, man. Okay.
Gotta get that Arrested Development reference in there.
So they get the Ursign do help with the fight, but the Winter's Claw is not enthralled to them. But something Udyr had kind of said leading up to it is like, hey, if you do this, they're going to fucking kill everybody. You're not going to be able to take any spoils. You're not going to be able to take anybody in as like new members of the tribe or even as slaves because they're just going to kill everybody. And that's exactly what happens. Is all of the Ursign fucking murder everybody. And in turn, Volibear and the Ursign are influencing the Winter's Claw to be just as brutal and merciless. And sort of there's like an end sort of confrontation between Udyr and... I don't know if this is like literally Volibear or it's more his like a form that is his avatar. If this is sort of like the body he wears type situation. This part's a little vague, but it's this big, seemingly Volibear thing, and it has kind of committed to like, hey, I'm going to come back. You can't stop me, Udyr, and I'm going to get Sejuani. And Udyr is not having that shit, so they're kind of it's kind of left there with a gulf between the two of them. That's the high level. You know, it's a really cool. The Ursign are still really
they're really cool.
I really love the
This
Ursign.
is the best version.
It
The
is.
best
This is where
telling
you
of
really
the
see
Ursign, for sure.
the Ursign.
Mm-hmm.
And like how dark it all gets, like how bad this influence that Volibear has is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like how easy it is for him too.
Yes.
Because like he didn't do a lot. He just kind of like walked up and was like,
he barely did anything.
What do you want? And had control of everyone there.
It's true.
Imagine if he roared. Damn.
God, yeah.
And like Sejuani's even like, you know, I fought things bigger than him. I fought massive things, but like when she got snapped out of that, she's like, I almost gave myself and everyone over to him without a second thought. Like, oh no, he's not strong because he's big. He's strong because of that shit. Like, damn.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the horror elements are really strong here. It's funny enough, it reminds me of a little bit in the Song of Nunu game where there's like a frozen Ursign in that game that Nunu's walking around. And at one point he's like, I know they're bad guys, but I can't help but think the Ursign are just cooler.
Yeah.
I'm right there with him.
Yeah.
They're evil monsters, but they're so cool.
But he looks pretty cool when he's doing it.
Yeah. I really like the we talked about it more in the Udyr episode, but I really like the kind of conflict that is between those two. I really like Udyr trying to face off against this fucking thing. The descriptions of the Volibear, like I said, avatar or maybe Volibear himself are really they're just really cool. They're really effective, and the way he's described is like, I didn't get into it, but he's all fucked up looking, man. He's like got half his fucking face missing and shit until after the battle when his face is back to being whole and he's getting back more powerful and maybe a little more normal looking.
Yeah, we probably talked about it during that episode, but it feels very like the mummy to me as he's getting Emotep's getting his body back and everything.
Sure.
So I have some notes for this one.
Okay. You have like a page of notes for this one.
There's a lot of notes. A lot of it's quotes just because the story's so fucking cool. But
Are you sure you didn't say these exact quotes the other few times that we...
Some of them, yes, but they bear repeating.
They bear repeating? Sorry.
These are all unintentional, and it's going to happen so often. right at the beginning of the story, when Udyr's trying to convince Sejuani not to do this, like, no, he's going to kill everyone. We're not going to get anything out of this. And Sejuani's like, no, though, listen, our name is Winter's Claw. They're our kin, which seems like a real big stretch. Because you gave yourselves that name. You can't just say that.
No, we're Volibear's #1 fans. Like, they have to listen to us.
They're going to give us backstage access. Come on, we're like the thing.
I want to go backstairs. Funny. There's a lot of baby faces back there. They keep looking at me.
And spewing out weird soup.
Another thing I thought was interesting is that when someone does the ritual, it doesn't just call Volibear. Apparently it calls out his whole fucking cabal of weirdos.
Yeah.
Like, in the first time that he's called, he even has a quote that's like, they're 100 miles away. I'm getting close. And then he's just there. But, like, how the fuck do his followers get there that fast? Like, I'm just fucking imagining them, like, riding on his back, just like fucking Appa or some shit. Faster, Volley, faster.
Wouldn't be nearly as precious.
They're like fleas. He just kind of shakes.
Oh shit, did I lose one? Was that the one with the baby head in his mouth?
Fuck, he was my favorite.
I love that
guy.
Yeah, we gotta go back. He scares everybody. How do you even get that thing in his mouth?
Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so it said the Volibear's question flooded Udyr's mind. It overwhelmed him. Udyr felt as if the words were bursting from inside his eyes, ripping through his fingertips. What battle is worthy of us, war child? And I'm just trying to imagine, like, Sejuani at this point, like, okay, so the thing is, there's this, like, small town over here, but it's, like, across a river, right? And, like, it's be really hard to get to. Can you guys please help us?
It's covered in weak ice. We gotta cross this big weak ice river.
They're not gonna fight back.
Right. But we're hungry. We're so hungry. Eat. Eat. More? More eat.
God damn.
Now, it also said, from outside his body, Udyr heard his voice crack in effort. This is kind of when he finally snapped out of it and stopped Sejuani from promising her people to him. She makes no pledge to you, beer spirit. Those are hard words to say back to back.
Beer spirit is definitely his beer line.
Right. You know what's funny is none of us are drinking this episode, but it doesn't seem that way.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm not. I had a headache going into it.
Don't worry. It's, it's my influence.
Nice.
From my glass of wine that I'm having.
The vapors.
Yeah.
But yeah, he swallowed and pushed himself towards the monstrous creature. We offer only the war and it's dead. The Volibear roared in anger. The force of its howl pushed Udyr back towards Sejuani as the beast's spell broke. And, like, I love how gods have these just, like, arbitrary rules. Like, you're here. You basically have control of her army already. You don't need to ask her for the permission to, like, steal her people.
John. Haven't you seen Supernatural?
I guess.
They need permission before they enter the human body.
And just because Udyr says no, I mean,
That's true.
You're a god. Like,
he goes about things the proper way. He's not an animal. Yeah. He's a god.
Right?
He's an animal god.
He's not a mortal.
He's civilized, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish that this was a little more like, I will say, I do wish that, like, idea was a little more firmly established in some way. Like, I don't know where or how.
That he has, like, rules he has to follow, or...
That, or that, like, yeah, that he has to in some way get someone to be enthralled to him, right? Like, because you're right, it doesn't make the most sense.
Yeah, like, if they're not willing, they just, like, crumble and die or something. They won't transform. They'll just...
Sure. Yeah, who knows?
They also said the massive creature roared again, seeming to become less and less like a bear. Its flesh seemed to lilt away. Muscles, fur, and flesh floated apart, connected only by the endless lightning crackling inside it. The Volibear moved to attack. Before it could strike, Sejuani rode straight at it, blocking its path to Udyr. Which, again, excuse me, she blocked the path to Udyr?
Yeah.
This bitch is vomiting lightning. I think you could get past her if you wanted.
No, she's fought bigger things than Volibear, remember?
Bigger.
He's not even a full bear. He's
right? He's mostly lightning at this juncture.
More
And, like,
lightning than
holes
bear
in
at
his
this
body.
point. Much easier to fight.
Right? Him and Zareth should hang out, man. Zareth's mostly lightning, too.
Wow. A match made in not heaven. Match made
Little
in
hell, but
the
definitely not
clouds.
heaven.
Match made in Shurima, because that's basically hell, because Azir rules it.
I also just liked this description of the Ursine in the fight too. That near them, an Ursine butchered the remains of a shopkeeper. It turned its bestial face to look at Udyr. Gore covered its fur as it mindlessly slammed a pair of axes into the man's long-dead corpse. And then that Ursine roared, and then other of the Winter's Claw then pushed some survivors into a fire to burn alive. It's intense, man.
It is.
Sejuani, man. She's broke bad for sure.
I do find it... I find it interesting that, like, why does Jesus Christ, why does Volibear want Sejuani so bad? Is it just because she's, like, one of the most in tune with the way he wants people to be? Like, is he trying to, like, get her to be his champion or whatever? You know what I mean? Something like
Well, there's
that.
speculation with, like, her connection to the three sisters, right? I don't know if he
I guess that's also true.
senses
yeah.
that in her at all. Imagine, like, controlling the potential descendants or reincarnations of the three sisters.
And also,
That'd
I
be
think...
smart. Be neat.
Yeah.
At this point, too, because I know one of the things we mentioned in the Sejuani episode is just the vast discrepancies regarding the size of her armies in various stories.
Yeah.
But in this one in particular, it said she has like thousands of people, and they outnumber the Ursine like 100 to 1. So, I mean, you know, getting a force that big on your size when all you want to do is fight people is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm open to almost anything. I'm just kind of curious because it's so specific, I guess. It's not just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like when he's talking
Well-
with Udyr at the end.
Yeah. It could be that, like, a personal grudge at that point, too. Like, he was
That's
close
true.
to
The one who
having
got
her.
away.
Yeah. And he also...
I kind of like that even.
he seems aware of Ash and, like, all of her people and what they're doing. And I imagine he knows that he's not going to sway Ash.
Why doesn't he squish her? That's my
Well, he
question.
could
is why
squish her, but he's not going to be able to get her in his army. Like, in her people
Sure.
in his army, I guess. Whereas Sejuani, her people.
Yeah,
More Ursine, more cool people.
that's
You
true.
know?
Makes sense.
That's a lot of baby heads in people's mouths.
So many baby heads.
It's not a line I ever thought I'd say. Thanks, Riot.
Thanks.
Fucking Riot. At it
now-
again.
He is mentioned in a lot of short stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll start with Song of Nunu, the game.
the game.
You do fight him. He's, I mean, a little jolly, I would almost say.
Yeah, they brought a light
Yeah.
to Volibear. Maybe Nunu brings it out of people.
That's true.
He just kind of
Sure.
sways people and makes them a little happier.
That being said, he does threaten to kill Nunu
Sure,
if
yeah.
he doesn't figure out why he's special. But, you know, other than that, small bit,
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah,
jolly.
that's pretty low key. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised when you had to fight him. I was like, I don't feel like I can kill a bear god. And then you don't, obviously. You just harm
Yeah.
him once and he thinks it's really funny.
And then we have a good day where a shaman Shiverbones is consulting his totems of Ornn, Volibear, and Anivia to determine a course of action. He must have drawn Volibear because they then fight. So I think this was another one that was in that
Realms of
the
Runeterra.
Realms of Runeterra book. So I only got the synopsis, not the full thing.
Yeah, I didn't read it because I was pretty sure it was just exactly what you described. Someone mentioned Volibear once or something.
And next up, we got Dead of Winter, which is after Silence for the Damned. Sejuani is still suffering the after effects of having come into close contact with Volibear, and having had his influence taint her mind. At one point, she almost physically bites a dude's throat out for touching her shoulder, and then they decide they need to go through his land to get Orin's magic soup pot. She's not too enthused about, having already met him.
Yeah. By this point, too, her army has dwindled a lot, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's where we had left Sejuani off.
And she's like, she's sent a lot of them off to kind of be their own smaller parties because they can't get enough food to feed it. So they're like, a bunch of small bands now instead of a big one.
Yeah.
That was cool. It was cool to see how long that effect had lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them carrying that through, honestly.
Apparently he's mentioned in the Ruined King game.
Interesting.
I don't know where. If you do, get in the comments.
I'm sure it's some
Interesting.
journal page where someone
They just
says,
didn't
by the
find.
Volibear, I swear.
Right.
I'm gonna... or something,
I'm going to punch you right in the face.
Yeah.
I like that someone signs their journal by the Volibear, I swear. That's really cool.
Let's see. We got the Dream Thief, where Lysandra has to fight an avatar of Volibear. It doesn't last long. She kills him mid-transformation, so
shit.
she doesn't need to fight a fully powered avatar. Unlike Firelord Ozai.
Do you think Volibear is pro or anti-Watcher? Do you think he could be swayed to fight with Lysandra about it? Or would he just see that as yeah, fuck it, they'll kill all civilization. And then maybe someone will survive.
That's a really good question. Would Volibear not want the Void in the Freljord?
I don't think he would, because I think
they'll destroy everything.
He wants he
Yeah.
wants the people, but not everything that the people are bringing. And the Void doesn't want the people. And
Yeah.
if you take, if you kill all the people, then there'd be no one left to believe in the Volibear, and he'd just be a tiny little bear cub.
He's just Benjamin Buttons. At the end there, turns into a baby.
Little Benjamin Button.
Oh, shit. That's so cute, Benjamin Button. Oh.
They should do a skin for him like that. A little teddy bear.
I don't know what it would look. Just Brad Pitt's face is on. Oh no, teddy bear. Okay.
No, that's the name.
No, that makes more sense. No, you're right. I'm
Old
sorry.
human
My bad.
man Volibear.
Volibear opens his mouth, and a Brad Pitt head is
Pitt's head comes out and
Which
says
Brad
something
Pitt?
that he says in Benjamin Button. I've never seen it.
I'm
Is that what he
old, but I'm
sounds
young
like?
at the same time. That's what
The
he says.
first
his
rule
lines.
of Fight Club. We're so good at this. We should
Right?
make skins.
Next up, we got the Fire Below the Mountain, which is the Orn bio, where we just, we get the bit about his fight with Volibear. We have the Ice Witch, which is the Lysandra bio, where Volibear blinds Lysandra with a vicious slash for trying to harness the primal magic of the land.
Haha.
And then we've got the War Mother comic, where Ash and Sejuani need to flee from an oncoming cloud of Ursine as they accidentally hunted in their domain.
Sorry, the
That's-
cloud ideas is very fun. It's very
That's how
funny
they
to me.
got
They're like,
there, John. I guess when they become Ursine,
yeah.
they kind of get to the clouds, right?
Oh, shit.
Oh god, that is scary. Now, I remember reading that story for the first time and thinking, my god, there's just thunder bears in the sky because I didn't know anything about Volibear. Now it's even more terrifying to know that it's these corrupted people who have
Yeah.
kind of morphed. There's all this body horror floating in the sky. The Freljord sucks, dude. This place sucks.
yeah, I wouldn't
But
live.
the
I wouldn't
Eaton's
live
good
there.
when you
I
can get
wouldn't
it.
live in the what?
But the Eaton's
They
good
got
when
good
you
No,
can
they
get
don't.
it.
No, if you eat carrots, a bear's gonna come out and destroy your home. So
You gotta hunt for the kraken worms.
I don't know how to skin a squirrel, so that's not gonna happen.
What if
I'm
you
just going
find
to
a carrot,
Piltover.
you forage for a carrot? It's a natural
It's a
wild carrot.
The natural carrots of the Freljord. There's no way.
Maybe he's just really into the raw food movement. Volibear. Right?
So So non-vegan, but raw. Meat must be raw. I don't care if you have worms. Eat it.
What care a god about worms?
But I'm not a god, Volibear. My
They
belly
hurt my
hurts.
insides.
I'm pooping everywhere. Moving on.
Nature.
Yeah, right.
What's Ian?
Next up, we got the Nunu and Willump comic.
Yeah, I
Have
saw
we
this
talked
link. I
about
don't know.
this?
I think
To go along
okay.
with the game.
Yeah, when Song of Nunu came out, apparently they created a Nunu and Willump comic that kind of has an alternate telling of how they initially met.
I think I remember seeing it in the wiki, and then I saw alternate, and my eyes just sort of glazed over. And I was like,
Like, oh, that's
well,
John's
let's
thing.
put
I don't
that.
need to know about that.
Volibear's
We
mentioned,
should
though.
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a Nunu revisit, I'm
Sure.
sure. At some point, we're going to revisit a lot of people, so...
Yeah, so we're running out of letters.
We'll do a Willump one.
Right.
Hell yeah. I love that.
He's in a few cinematics. In the You and Me Make Us music video, Nunu and Willump are running from Volibear for a second. And he honestly seems more angry in this clip than he did in the actual game. He shows up in the call, kind of. Sejuani and her folks are fighting the Ursine, and one of them calls upon the spirit of the Volibear, who we see in the clouds. He doesn't join the fight, but you know...
He's watching. He's hanging out.
Yeah, he's watching his folks
He's
get fucking
spectating.
iced.
Oh, and Sejuani takes a dive. Misses the ultimate.
Finally, he was in There Will Be Mayhem, the 2016 All-Star event, where Volibear is unsurprisingly on the side of ice in this fire and ice battle.
I wonder what he thinks of fire, you know? It makes ice weak.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you think that's stronger than ice then?
Whoa.
Nothing stronger than ice. You get that shit. Let's
Sorry,
get that out
but
of the way first.
but it destroys ice, but it turns it into weak ice, and then weak ice destroys fire, so fire must be weak.
But then
Fire
water is
destroys
stronger
ice.
than... So maybe the water is strong fire, or water is strong ice. And ice
Somebody
is
really
weak
fucked
water.
up rock paper scissors game. This is what they play in the Freljord. Weak ice,
And if
strong
you do it
ice,
wrong,
or...
if you say that ice loses, Volibear comes out, jumps out of the clouds, excuse me.
Right, you don't actually have to do that whole thing with like the impaling bodies and like the song
Just
chanting.
play
Just like,
ice, water, fire, and have ice lose.
hey, you know what? I think ice is a bitch.
Then you kill your family. Anywho.
Yeah.
There's some old lore.
Ah, okay.
Old Volibear could not be more different.
Oh, was he just really nice?
Right?
So one, not a god. He's just a bear.
Just a bear. Okay.
Ursine and here are just like the bear people.
I know they were really into the armored bear idea, right? With the old stuff.
Some people were very into the
Okay.
He was technically going to be the leader of his tribe, but he had to climb to the top of a sacred mountain first, not to be confused with Mount Targon. No relation. Different sacred mountain that gives powers when you climb it. 2, he apparently hates violence. He saw a vision of war at the top of the mountain with the Ursine falling dead on a bloody battlefield and was like, no! So he traveled to the League of Legends for peace.
That's what people... So people either join the league to kill everyone or to not kill anyone.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Both.
Okay.
Depends, yeah. He
This
also
is why they
teamed
dropped
up
I'm
with
not choosing
Ash.
a lane. Yeah, 3, he allies with Ash. And while she's not technically one of the original 3 sisters, she lets people think she is, so she would technically be a huge enemy of his normally.
Interesting.
And as part of their agreement, he joined the League of Legends in the name of a united Freljord, representing the primal might of his nation on the fields of justice.
One of these days it's going to be the last time.
That's true. We should appreciate it.
I do. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, it's wild how different he used to be. He's so much cooler now, I will say.
Yeah.
That old Volibear is boring as shit.
Yeah, no, this is better.
IMO.
AU time?
Well, we got
Okay.
a few quotes first.
All right. First of all, I see KDA on that first list of AUs.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So,
But there should be a KDA Volibear to start, though.
Volibear is the first champion to have a voice line upon killing another champion.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I think it was the, oh god, what was it? Something about losing your head or something.
Oh, it's not for a specific. I thought you meant he had like
No,
a
not
line
for a
to a
specific
specific
one.
champion.
It was
Yeah.
like, you know, specifically after he killed someone.
Got you. Okay.
I think that's his old joke or taunt. The fool and his head are easily parted.
That might be a different one then, yeah.
Yeah, I think I think he probably has a different one.
Volibear speaks in ancient Freljordian for a lot of his quotes. And I have some translations here from the writers who worked on it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So, it's a lot of...
What does vol mean?
Vol,
He says that a lot.
So there's a couple different things. Voldaskar means last chance to run. Volkaufera means cower before me. Volhir actually just means God. It doesn't.
Ooh,
it's not
that's kinda
specific
cool.
to his name. Vrestram means great storm. Vorjard is the name of the land before it was called the Freljord. And Hrundvel means the organic things of the natural world.
Interesting. Neat. The Volhir thing is a particularly fun little detail.
Yeah.
And he does have a quote, do you have something against bears, old man? To Zillion, which is a reference to the big fight between rioter Zilius and rioter Volibear about putting an armored bear into the game.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
Volibear was a big proponent and Zilius was very against it. And
That's so strange.
yeah.
Now, was this genuine or was this like just for the joke of it? I don't really know.
Who knows? I think at the very least Zilius's disdain was genuine, and then Volibear's insistence was just to upset him. Because I
Fair
feel
enough.
like, if I'm remembering correctly, Zilius was Tom Cadwell, right? It's easy to anger.
I couldn't really tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember like the summoner names enough.
But I guess technically, in the end, Zilius won because that armor came off.
That's
So-
true. Now he's just a bear.
That's
That was
true.
probably his first note when like, oh, we're reworking Volibear. Get rid of the fucking armor.
Armor out of here right now.
Fucking
He's not
armor.
hanging dong. I'm quitting.
I expected there to be like JOJ articles about this. I was certain there was going to be something.
too.
Yeah.
It seems like there would be. Yeah.
I
was really
thought he would get a
disappointed.
judgment because he was out before Varys.
Huh. That's weird that he didn't know that. I don't know, man. No. I can't. I don't know.
AU time, baby.
All right.
First off, we got KDA in the Harmonies comic. Seraphine has a Volibear stuffed animal on her bed.
Okay, that is cute. I would
Is
love
it
a
old
Volibear
or
stick.
new Volibear? I guess it'd be new.
It is
No,
technically
probably
old Volibear.
Old, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, 2020. That's cute.
And then Ages of Runeterra, Other Roads. A feather knight flaps its wings, and halfway across Runeterra, an ocean drake surfaces. Our lives play out, fickle as words on parchment, the paths before us unknown and exciting. What if the road taken instead was the one less traveled? This one is Runeguard Volibear, which has no lore, but the skin is his canonical appearance during the time of the first Freljordian tribes, but before the Three Sisters conquered the Freljord.
Interesting.
This is the armored bear.
Yeah.
I could see. Yeah,
Cool.
okay.
It's a cool splash.
Yeah.
He's got cool splashes.
He does.
He does. He looks cool. Then we got Thunderlord. Mankind are not the only ones who fight bitter wars over petty squabbles. Once before our time, two gods, two brothers, took up arms against each other, shaping the very land with the desolation of their battle. This one's Thunderlord Volibear. In an age before man, King Voli ruled the bitter Northlands, and he was as harsh and unforgiving as they were. It is said that he waged a terrible war against his brother, the great King Orn, and that their struggle raised mountains and emptied seas as the two of them became like beasts themselves.
Okay. Volibear, but he a king.
Yeah. Next up, we got a long one.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
The Grind. Cops and robbers.
Yeah.
Nobody puts in the work like the Piltover Police Department. Who else can lock up the most sugar-laden donuts inside their merciless stomachs, rack up the highest of overtimes, and ignore even the most menial of paperwork? The criminals may be taking advantage of it, but even they wish they had the same work ethic. And this is Captain Volibear. For Volibear's years of service on the force, he was awarded the honorary title of Captain. For his utter incompetence in the field, it was made certain he would remain on desk duty for the rest of his career. Even so, he and Constable Trundle always end up patrolling the streets with mountains of paperwork left in their wake. Fun fact about this skin, too, after the full champion relaunch, he's shown wearing tasers on his gauntlets, which are apparently the source of his electric-based abilities for this skin. And there's a short story here called The Heist, which is also just like a skin promotion.
Of course.
A pair of ne'er-do-wells are putting the squeeze on League of Legends in the dead of night. They broke into the store and stole Hippolyt's most prized possessions. He really loves his socks. The two best detectives in history are detecting on the case, but to prevent further chaos, we're giving in to their demands. These are dark days in League. Kind of. Our boys in blue have thus failed to track the sneaky swindlers, giving us no choice but to bow to their demands. We checked in with Captain Volibear and Constable Trundle, who've both promised to have these thieves thrown in the slammer just as soon as they finish their donuts. And find them. That's important, too. After staking out the completely wrong address and accidentally wiretapping themselves, and trying to tail a couple of suspicious individuals while dressed in full uniform, Captain Volibear and Constable Trundle have finally caught the criminals. An innocuous pink ward, accidentally dropped by our gravest officers as they played hide-and-seek, detected the pair of thieves whose dastardly demands included a deal on legacy skins. With Safecracker Evelyn and Pickpocket Twitch now in custody, we're pleased to announce that the legacy skins, joined by a few extras, will be entering the Skin Protection Program and secured back in our watertight legacy vault. Act fat. Guys, where are Twitch and Evelyn? Huh, welp, this is awkward. Looks like we've got work to do. Again.
Womp womp.
It happened again. Oh, man. Shit.
And now, we got a second The Grind. Volibear, always on the grind, apparently. Luchador. From the top rope comes the greatest show in sports entertainment. Watch as El Tigre, El Macho, El Leon, and El Rayo trade bumps in high-flying spots inside and outside the squared circle. Just remember, nobody does it better than the Wrestling Federation of Valoran. And this is El Rayo Volibear. The Wrestling Federation of Valorant would like to put these terrible rumors about our beloved El Rayo to bed once and for all. 1, he is definitely a bear, and not a man dressed as a bear, as some might claim. 2, bears make amazing wrestlers.
They would. I feel like. Scary, though.
Scary. Then we've got Eclipse, Coven.
Oh.
The witches lay in wait, a sisterhood of frightening pulchritude, their hopes whispered forth from desecrated lips. They speak of the bloating corpses of old gods, of ancient rites carried out with magics long forgotten to mortal mind, of the return of what they call order, but others call suffering. Hark! Mankind's end fast approaches. And this is The Thousand-Pierced Bear. Ancient Freljordian legends speak of spirit walkers consumed by the true spirit of the unrelenting bear, a force older than the Freljord itself. Those who dare to invoke its name cannot fathom the terrible, primal power they call down upon themselves. And this has a Legends of Runeterra level up. Aided by his coven faithful, the God Bear emerges from an era of hibernation, a little too early. To disturb the rest of an old god is a fatal transgression. The Volibear will rebuke the traitor and her knights with untold suffering.
You mortals have forgotten the old ways, but the old ways have not forgotten you. For this sin, I will crush your skulls to dust. I will shred your lands with storms. Perhaps then you will finally remember. They will remember the terror of old.
You okay?
It's hard.
That's a part of the quote.
Yeah.
He has a little cough.
There are a few fun facts about this skin. This skin has canonical appearance during the events of Silence for the Damned. This is how he looks in that story. The skin was given freely to anyone who owned Volibear before or during his Champion Update patch. The skin was initially named Thousand Pierced Volibear, but was changed to its current name before launch, which makes it the only skin name to not include the name of the champion. It's for, at least in some way, not counting things like Heimer Stinger or shit like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first skin that is shared in both Runeterra Prime and Coven.
Yeah, it's neat. I think in the one of the other stories, I think the one where they go to Hearthhome, they see Volibear, and I think he's also got all the swords and like tusks, they say, and stuff stuck in him. So I think it kind of shows up there too.
Cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Ouchie.
Ow.
Owie, wowie, zowie.
Next up, we got four beasts, Dragonmancers. Majestic dragons dwell in remote places of wild beauty, avoiding mortal affairs outside of rarely bestowing their gifts on only a select few. The Dragonmancers are those fortunate and powerful enough to have gained the ultimate blessing. Whether they then use that for good or for evil is up to them, and anyone strong enough to stop them. This one's Duality Dragon Volibear. Volibear was the greatest terror in the forest, until the nearby volcano erupted. In the frenzy of escape, Volibear came across a child who was similarly trapped, and heeded a strange instinct. He saved the child. The Duality Dragon saw and made the mighty Predator an offer, the power to hone the duality of his nature, both fury and compassion. And there's a prestige skin for this too.
Oh, I see.
Volibear stands poised between the two drives of his core self, rage and mercy, impulse and restraint, neither overwhelming the other. Balance is an active struggle. Each day the Predator and Protector clash, and each day Volibear's will grows stronger by the grace of the dragon's gift.
That's kind of interesting.
We've got a fairly new one. We got the Ink Shadow Uprising. On the outskirts of Rabadon City, a dilapidated temple houses the last hope for Rabadon's people, the Ink Shadow Warriors. Each one sacrifices what is most important to them in order to make a contract with ancient spirits who imbue them with magic tattoos so powerful, even the Cabal trembles. They are victims no more. It is time to take back their home. This one's Ink Shadow Volibear. A spirit of fury and war, many vengeful souls have made contracts with the Volibear, and only Udyr has survived for longer than a year. Whether his charges succeed in taking revenge or meet violent ends, each one who dies gives him more power. More power means more wayward mortals seek him out for more contracts, and thus the bear will never go hungry.
Interesting. Maybe he's killing him. Sorry.
That's true. Do what you gotta do, man.
Sorry.
Finally, we got PsyOps, Arctic Ops. High Command needed a new group to handle the growing threats along the Arctic front. They needed soldiers colder than the glaciers they'd be crossing, with ice in their veins and frosty nerves. Enter Arctic Ops. This one's Northern Storm Volibear. It's easy to get used to having a bear in the platoon. He never gets cold, he sleeps all the time, and he can tear through a fully armored regiment of enemy soldiers in about 6 seconds. It is very easy to get used to having a bear in the platoon.
Sounds like just regular Volibear.
Right?
Sleeping all the time. He wakes up and kills people, goes back to bed.
It's the life.
Yeah.
I got a few fun facts for you here.
Let's go.
Volibear, as we mentioned, is the result of the game forum's ongoing joke regarding armored bears that prompted this internal debate, which then prompted his creation.
I don't think I ever heard that.
Volibear will gain the cosmetic buff Chrono Keeper Hater. Not even Zillion could keep an armored bear out of the League of Legends if he and Zillion find themselves on opposing teams.
Of course.
He also gains 1 bonus armor, and Zillion gains 1 ability power if they're on opposing teams. Could make all the difference. Volibear is voiced by David Sobolov in League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra, and Song of Nunu. He also voices Malphite in Legends of Runeterra.
Nice.
Oh, neat.
Volibear was tied with Fiddlesticks in a player-based vote to determine which champions would receive a visual gameplay update in 2020.
Oh.
He was explored for a visual gameplay update, but was iceboxed shortly before he was added to the poll in 2019.
So they put him on pause?
Oh, shit. That was a good one. All the bear ones were so easy. That one was good.
Volibear's theme is based on a song of worship the ancient Freljordian tribes used to sing in his honor. And it was sung by Einar Selvik, a Norwegian musician who also composed music for the TV show Vikings.
Oh, it's a good song.
I like his theme a lot, yeah. I've put it
it's
on
really
before
good.
just to get into that vibe, you know?
It is very good. Let's see, Volibear's the physical form of the great spirit of the bear, as spirit walkers like Udyr can harness a bit of his primal spirit magic. And the spirit gods are more like manifestations of cultural ideas given immense power by the belief of their followers, and they can wax and wane depending or disappear for a long, long time. One of his titles in the main canon, the Thunder's Roar, was his old title in the old canon. Volibear can be as big or as small as he wants due to transcending physicality as a god.
Sure.
I want a tiny little Volibear running around. He kicks over, he
That'd be
fucks
great.
some beavers dam up a river, and a tiny little Volibear runs over and breaks it.
Get out of here! He's throwing sticks.
Is
My raging river!
is a little fun fact I'm going to throw in here.
Ooh.
There was a TFT set that had Volibear in it, and that was one of the few sets that also had an item in it, where if you auto-attacked a champion, you had a chance to cut their level, essentially, and doing so would make them a tiny, small champion, so you could get tiny little Volibear.
That's cute.
Let's see. Volibear was the first champion released in Season 2. And he may have been inspired by the Panzerborn, which the Danish-Norwegian armored bears from his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that probably... You're right. That probably
I
is
feel
exactly
that.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
See
pretty
you now.
one-to-one.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
Whoopsie, forgot about that
I think
one.
that's what they're called, honestly. That's why it threw me off for a second there.
Yeah. The most notable being, I think, is Yorick. So, they're just pulling all sorts of inspiration. Volibear's dance, both before and after his visual update, referenced Sam B's dance in America's Got Talent. So look that up, because I can't give you any more details than that.
I can picture
Look at-
Volibear's dance.
Yeah, look at his dance in game. That was done by Sam B. So now you know.
Now
you know his
Volibear's got
dance.
talent.
Oh shit! Freljord's Got Talent.
Right.
In Volibear's Champion Spotlight, his release skin names were swapped. So Thunderlord was labeled Northern Storm, and Northern Storm was labeled Thunderlord.
What a bunch of idiots.
What a boner.
What a boner riot.
Oh, you two.
And finally, he's covered in his own version of True Ice as part of his power as an ancient Freljordian deity.
Oh, that one Orn can't melt, I bet.
Okay.
Remember?
They're like little
Because
kids.
of wet bear.
It's like, I melt your true ice. Nuh-uh, this is special true ice. It doesn't melt.
Yeah, my True Ice is super duper special. Oh, god damn it. You just sent me into a rage right now. Kids are the fucking worst. All right. That's Volibear.
That was Volibear.
That
Any
is-
final thoughts?
I like it.
Yeah, I liked it.
The stories range from like good to like very good, which I feel like isn't super
He does
common.
have a lot of really good stories that he's in, which is pretty remarkable. Even his color story was pretty good. Like, it wasn't as great as the other ones. When he destroys the village because they were making carrots. It was decent. And then the rest were all really great.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing...
I don't need any more. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise. I'm really satiated.
I want to explore the dead Earth sign in the MMO when it comes out. God, imagine
Yeah, for
coming up
sure.
to like the Earth sign that have been like, fused with the stone from Orn.
Get to Hearth Home. That'd be pretty cool. See you in 10 years or whatever. I was going to say, he's in Runeterra, and I think this is the release that came out at a like weirdly timed, and I don't know if it's canon at this point. It was right around when they said, hey, we're doing a single universe thing. But he's in it, and the big shtick of it is that Neela is there in the Freljord trying to challenge him because he's a big fuck off monster.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's no resolution to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know if that's what's actually happening or if it's just sort of like a what if. But
Yeah.
just throwing
That's
it out
interesting. I'm curious how he would react to, Neela in general, and the fact that she's kind of got a demon in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
there.
I
Yeah, he
don't
doesn't
know.
make any reference to that. He just, I think it's because it's like, it's like it all kind of shows like them right before they get into it, and then you don't
Of
ever see them
course,
actually get
yeah.
into it. So it's like, who knows?
Freeze frame.
Right, exactly.
Anyone can win.
Speaking of freezing, is her water not freezable?
Oh, fair.
Ooh, that'd be
Yeah.
kind of, maybe he would respect that water a little more. It's like, maybe this ice not so weak.
It is quite refreshing.
strong.
Okay, he's not Mundo. All right, well, that was Volibear. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more of us, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't get to this end of this episode? If you like, I need more of the people who said I can't stop pooping or whatever I said earlier. We have a Twitch.
Don't lump me into that shit.
That's true. That was me. That's fine because Mark's not on the Twitch. Twitch.tv/loreheads. John and I both stream there. John streams on Saturdays. He does TFT, a Masters TFT player here, by the way. He'll play with viewers if you want to. And then he does ARAMs afterwards. And then I stream on Mondays. I'm going to start trying to read the lore before the streams. And then we do some Rift games together. Last week I did Tuesday because I've been a bit sick. If you couldn't tell by the coughs that I probably didn't edit all of out. Some of them were while you were talking, John. And I won't be able to cut those out. Sorry. And John's going to try to do some more indie streams and games and whatnot. I'm going to be doing NaNoWriMo next month. I'm trying to write 600 words a day, so I might be doing some productivity sprints. But I say that a lot, and then I chicken out because I don't know how to do that on streams, and I feel very scared. And then I'm like, and then I'm going to just sit here and type while there's a camera on me. And then, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to find some people streaming writing sprints and see if I can get some inspiration. Yeah. We have YouTube as well. We post videos of so if you want to see my face while I say I can't stop pooping or whatever it was.
It's not to be missed.
It's not to be missed. It's a great face. It's okay.
I love it.
Oh my God, I love your face. Mark's face is okay.
Thanks. That's all I
so
can ask
sorry.
for, really.
No, you have a great face, Mark. It's so jolly.
Well.
Anyway, it's League of Lore Heads or something like that over there.
Where the
If you
fuck
go
we're
to YouTube and put in League of Lore Heads, you'll find it. John makes some fun parody songs too. We have a Discord if you want to pop in, find some people to chat with, post weird memes. play League with somebody, head on over to the Discord. And we have a Patreon. Sometime this week, I'll be editing the episode where we did all of the impressions from A through F. And I was remarkably stoned. And you two were something, probably. You were there.
We were there.
Who cares? I was the star of the show, probably. I don't remember.
Go figure.
Sure, I'm getting mad at you, but not actually mad at you. But then you thought I was really getting mad at you. And then I was like, oh my God, is he really mad at me? And then... I don't know. That's all I remember.
Glad that's what you remember.
Yeah. Are you mad at me? Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, King of Hearts, Mr. Dead, and John Has a Dig Bick. If you had called upon the Volibear to save your town, I would also show up so that when the Volibear tried to destroy your town, I'd be like, not today, Mr. Volibear.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. That took a real turn.
Yeah,
that
and he
was
would,
interesting.
and he'd have to go, because...
He would definitely either go or kill you. It would
No,
be
he
one of
couldn't
the
kill
two.
me, because I'd be like,
That's
Mr.
true.
Volibear. And according to
He's
the
with a
Udyr
finger-
story, that's
yeah.
all you need to do to...
Fair. I think he would just be really confused that he would leave. Like, that's a strange fellow. And I hang around with Ursine. But he's a weird one.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Well, with that, everybody, we're done with the V's.
Woo!
That's it. Very scary. I'm scared.
That's what the B
There's like
stands
2
for.
rows left of champions, and then we have to think of weekly things to do. Please don't leave us. And please be sure to join us next week as we talk about the uncaged wrath of Zon Warwick.
Stjärnor helt vindringspartiet. Gjort hunger hon där skall dränka